intro.
I know, right? So Juice wanted to make his little appearance in the video.
Well, I mean, he made an appearance last video. Actual appearance.
But yeah, you'll be seeing him a lot more. He'll be in and out.
Hopefully,
doing what he does.
Be knocking the camera over, but there he goes. All right, so
today,
before we start anything, what do you think?
You like it? It was a present.
It was a present.
Was
I
it
like
a Christmas present? I think.
Yeah, I think it was a Christmas present. That's crazy. Christmas present. We're showing it to you in March.
I know.
Okay, let's just cut to the chase.
So, we have been listening to a podcast called Serial, which has become a very well-known podcast throughout the podcast listener community.
Break it down. What's Serial?
So, Serial is a podcast of a woman who is basically documenting...
Shout out to her, because
yeah,
really cool.
She's really good with her storytelling and everything like that. She makes you want to listen. So, what she does is she breaks down the case and analyzes all of the evidence, all of the interviews, all of the transcripts from court dates and everything like that. And what she does is she questions it all. You know, she's trying to figure out or get to the bottom of the case.
I think she's very unbiased. Like, if she'll have her, you know, what she thinks, but she'll look at the right side of it, the left side, the bottom, the top of it, everything that she can. So she's kind of like a private investigator, but she's just doing it because she does it. We've been just binging Serial season 1.
Yes. So right now, I think we're on episode 7.
Oh yeah, we just finished episode 6, so it's 12 episodes. So we're right smack dab in the middle. Before we even start analyzing it and saying our quick, you know, like, they're actually gonna make this into an HBO special, right?
Yep.
Which
a 4-part series.
Right. So we were like, what were we watching again? We were watching something.
Breaking In.
She was watching Breaking In, and she called me. She's like, come upstairs, screaming. I mean, I thought something was wrong or something, but it was the trailer for it. So her dad told us to hear it, and then we started hearing it, and then it's just crazy how everything kind of like escalated, you know, and became a bigger thing. So we're like, maybe we should do a little analysis on it.
Yes. So right now we're just going to break down the main characters, the ones that you need to know.
And what we think as of now.
So there's 2 main investigators that are on the case. I don't remember their names, but just know that there's 2 of them. Okay, so the person telling the story, the author or the narrator of the podcast is Sarah. She has an assistant named Dana who does a lot of the
second checking, you know, fact checking
and everything like that.
Which I like a lot.
Yes.
Start off with.
Adnan is the defendant. Yes. And
antagonist, however you want to see it.
So Jay is another name that you need to know.
Right.
Heyman Lee is the victim of the crime, unfortunately. Let me just give a quick disclaimer too.
Okay, go ahead.
So all of this is information that we have been listening to, been compiling and everything. We don't mean any harm or any negative connotations towards anyone by telling this. We just want to give our side to it, so no disrespect intended. Okay, so, and then Jennifer is Jay's girlfriend.
Who she's kind of like, she's part of it, but she's the 3 main that you need to like remember. Jay,
Heyman Lee, and Adnan.
Yes.
Okay, so basically
Adnan's in jail. That's how it starts off. We go from Adnan's in jail, and the basic story of it is that him and Heyman Lee were dating.
She broke up with him.
And then they were on and off, right? They were on and off, and they were this couple that was in love, but because of their religious and, you know, outlooks on life, neither of them could be together.
Right.
So they both were like, what?
Nothing.
I'm breaking in?
Yeah.
What you trying to say?
No.
So both of them couldn't be seen together. So it was perfect for them. Like, it was a relationship where when they're together, they're together. When they're not, that's basically it. So it goes on. She writes about everything in her journal, which, as you keep on going, it plays a huge part in this investigation. She meets this new guy, Dom, who he's, as of now, we really haven't
heard too much about him. Basically, the day of the murder was January 12th, 1999,
yes.
right? And so, yeah. So the breakdown of this day, or maybe the 13th. No, I think it was the 13th. So basically, the breakdown of this day is they're all at school. Everyone's at school. Adnan asks Heyman Lee for a ride, and Heyman says yes. So after school, Adnan finds her in the hallway. She ends up telling him she can't give him a ride, or she doesn't. It's very unclear, that part.
This is the court's case, by the way. This is what they're saying. We're not saying this is what it is, but we're going by their accounts.
Right. So then this is a way for Adnan to get in her car and basically strangle her so that they have one-on-one time. Adnan puts her body in the trunk and leaves her car in a Best Buy parking lot. From what I can remember correctly, right? Her car is in the Best Buy parking lot. It's
really iffy, because the thing is, there wasn't a lot of cameras at the time, so she was supposed to be picking up her cousin, so there was important things she was supposed to be doing.
Keep this in mind. Adnan has just received a new cell phone. Jay has Adnan's car and his cell phone.
So Adnan has none of his two belongings. Those are not with him till, I believe, after the time of the murder, which was 2:30 to 3, right? Is that about what they said it was?
Yeah, like the murder occurred at 2:36 p.m.
Adnan was supposed to be at track practice
at 4 p.m.
Yes.
So which gives him a long period of time to basically commit this murder. Now, there are people, Adnan says that he was in the library after school. And there is one witness, or maybe there's 1 to 2 witnesses that say that they saw him in the library, who has never been brought to court, who was never questioned or anything like that, but she writes him when he's been arrested.
Who in this trailer we seen is doing a lot more talking. So that's why we're like super excited.
Yeah. So that places Adnan there. But there's incoming and outgoing calls to Adnan's phone that would place Adnan with his phone at the time of the calls, which doesn't match his story or match Jay's story.
It's like nobody's story.
Yeah, Jay and Adnan are not friends. Do not get that.
They're acquaintances.
Yeah, don't get confused by that part of the story. Right. They are not friends. They are not best friends. They are not anything like that. They smoke weed together, and that's about it.
In fact, they are said to not have been together besides, you know, what they usually did.
Which is what makes the story so much more compelling, because Jay has so much to say about Adnan and his actions and how he like how he was planning this out and everything, and how it was premeditated and everything like that. But they weren't friends. You know, like they didn't hang out. Adnan wouldn't update him on anything. But what does connect them is Jay's girlfriend Jennifer, who is a mutual friend of the two.
That's a good wrap up of what's there. You know, well, I mean, besides, I mean, if you really want to get into it,
you have to listen to the podcast.
If we're gonna sit here and tell you every single thing, you got to sit here for the first Always in Favela movie. Like that's how long it would be.
Yeah, for real.
Because when there's this angle, and then somebody's like, well, no, because I seen Adnan at this. And then they're like, no, well, I was here. And Adnan's like, I don't remember neither.
And then cell phone records say he was there. Right. And then Jay puts them there. Like, it's a story that's everywhere.
One branch becomes like, I mean, branch has like so many twigs and leaves to it. You can't go over, and we're only halfway through. So what we think is solid right now probably isn't.
Right.
So
what do we think happened?
Yeah, as of now, what do we think's going on?
I personally, and do not watch this if you don't want to get it spoiled, okay? Like, do not continue, do not...
We should have put that way earlier, huh?
Yeah.
You're kind of in already. Yeah. You're in too deep. You just got to keep going.
So basically what I think happened is, like, part of me feels like Adnan did it, part of me feels like Jay did it and had someone help him and is putting it all on Adnan. That's what I personally think, just because of the things that go against Adnan and the things that go for Jay and the things that go against Jay and then go for Adnan, if that makes sense.
Right. And I mean, that's what we just finished seeing. So in the story, Sarah hasn't like pointed, she even says, you know, episode 6 is the case against Adnan. Right. Which is
everything bad against Adnan. Everything that makes Adnan
that
look
she's
guilty.
withheld to kind of throw it all together, you know? But there's 5 other episodes, well, more like 4, you know, the first one's kind of an intro. 4 other episodes where we're learning what is going on. Personally, I don't know if Adnan did it. I won't say he had no connection to it. Maybe he had some connection to it. But I definitely think Jay either did it himself, knew somebody who was going to do it himself, or I don't see why he would orchestrate it. I don't see why he would orchestrate it, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
Nothing makes sense.
It just
and
doesn't.
I also don't understand why investigators don't look into Dom as much. The current boyfriend.
We can't say that though.
Well, as of now, as of what we've heard now, and yes, he does have an alibi. He was at work at the time of the murder. But who's to say that Dom and Jay don't have a connection and don't have a mutual feeling in wanting to kill him and leave? You know, maybe
she was still talking to Adnan.
Yeah, like her and Adnan were very flirtatious with each other. I believe.
Right.
And I mean, they were very friendly. And from what everybody says, Adnan is not that type of person.
And I don't
from
like
what
that saying.
We've gotten,
I don't like that saying.
I don't think that he's that type of person. But it looks bad. And
okay, so to you know, kind of encapsulate why I said that. In this last episode that we've seen, Sarah tells him, you know, you don't seem like that type of guy. And the first little hostile moment is him saying, you don't know me though, you know? And we had a conversation. We had a good 20-minute conversation.
You don't know what I'm capable of, you know?
And see, I didn't take it as that. What I took it as, you don't know me as because, and he even explains it. Everybody's telling him, you're such a nice guy. Like, Adnan, I know, could never do this. But that sounds, to me, that sounds like a backhanded, you know, like compliment. Like, oh, well, he couldn't, at least the person I know wouldn't do it. But maybe he could. And I think that's why he got so mad. Because somebody who he's only talked to over the phone, who is a random, you know, a stranger, is talking to, you know, it's sounding just like everybody else.
And that's where we disagree, because I gave the example of what if when me and Eddie first started dating and we talked on the phone, you know, and what if Eddie's praising me, you know, like you're such a good person, like you're beautiful, you know, you're so smart and genuine and everything, and I'm like, well, everybody tells me that, but you don't know what I'm capable of, you know, like you don't know, listen, you don't know if I'm gonna cheat on you. You don't know if I'm gonna break your heart. You don't know, you know, and that, like, nobody wants to hear that, you know. If anything, that would more so shy him away from me rather than attract him to me. You know what I mean? And yes, I understand where Eddie's coming from when he says that.
Right.
But if I'm trying to help you, you know, I'm on your side, I'm here for you. I'm just trying to understand why everybody has this to say. I have the same opinion, but you've been pinned for this murder. I don't understand. Nobody understands. And for everybody to be saying the Adnan that I know wouldn't have done it, and then for you to come back with this like snapping response like, but you don't know me, you know what I mean? Okay, so what's this Adnan? You know, the Adnan that I know wouldn't have said that, but this Adnan is like, you don't know what I'm capable of, you know?
This is my thing, is I can hear you, like, you know, and I'm like trying to put myself in the Adnan's shoes. I can hear the Adnan I wouldn't know wouldn't do this, but that doesn't get me out of jail, you know?
Correct.
So like, okay, thanks, like what does that do for me? But it's not benefiting me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I understand it, and it's cool, like, you know, if it was his first year in, like, you know what, like, you don't seem like it to me, so let's get down to the point. I'm your lawyer, let's knock this case out. You're not a lawyer, you know? You're this random person who, you know, with all respect to Sarah, I'm trying to, you know, find that out. I think Sarah, she's a super cool person, super intelligent, super, like, you know, curious, and that's what I like. But to Adnan, like, I'm hearing it from family, I'm hearing it from people that matter, but it's not doing anything for me. It's not, I'm not, you're not guilty now. And now this lady, okay, but what do you really know about me?
But she's breaking it down for you. She's doing what nobody else has ever tried to do or succeeded in doing. Right. And now this case has blown up, which obviously he didn't know that it would do at the time. But like, you know, it's just like, I'm trying to help you. I'm on your team, you know. I want to know, and I wouldn't be doing this case if I thought that everything against you was rock solid evidence, you know. Everything that they said was complete concrete evidence and everything. What makes it so hard is because technology back then wasn't as advanced. Yes, we have cell phones. Yes, we have cell phone towers that things are pinging off of.
There's still beepers.
Exactly. But there's no cameras.
Inconsistency.
There's no people that, you know, the library log. Yes, you have to log in. You have to write your name down on the library list in order to get in. They don't keep records that long ago. It's been like 19 years or whatever, or 20 years since this has happened. Right. So, I mean, no, they don't keep this in records anymore or anything like that. What else? Track practice. They don't keep attendance at track practice.
That was a specific
You know,
thing.
like there's a snowstorm 2 days after the murder happened.
So that was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday, there's no school.
Monday.
The weekend. Then it's Martin Luther King Day. You know what I mean? Like all of this stuff.
It could be somebody we haven't even learned about yet. So that's where I'm at right now.
Well, I think that I really think that Jay is the main person that I'm looking at. His story's funny. It always has been flip-floppy. You know, main points of his story have stayed the same, but small inconsistencies are what worries me. You know, like, yeah, I can stick with one thing, but everything else is not the same, which is a problem for me. I also have a problem with Jay having Adnan's car and cell phone that day and not being able to pinpoint his exact move. No, you're not going to be able to remember everything, but I don't need a ballpark. I need to know where you were. You can't do that.
It's just right. I get it.
I just feel like this day should have stuck out more to Jay, because Adnan says that he doesn't remember this day because it was any other ordinary day. He didn't commit this murder, so he wouldn't remember. I feel like Jay should remember because he was in possession of somebody else's cell phone. He was in possession of somebody else's car. There was a snowstorm 2 days after. He said that he spent the entire afternoon following after track practice with Adnan, or whatever happened, he spent the afternoon with Adnan, which is something that wouldn't usually happen because they're not friends. Right. You know, I just feel like there are things that stick out in Jay's story that would make it out of the ordinary day. So you should be able to tell me what happened, when it happened, who was with you, who wasn't with you. Know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there's too much. Maybe that happened, but it could have been like this. You know, I just don't think that everything adds up the way that it should.
I think you're holding Jay, just from what you said, you're holding Jay to, you have to be 100% tell me what you're doing. But you're not holding Adnan to that. Yes,
because Adnan, it's an ordinary day.
If you're gonna hold one person to be 100%, everybody else should, you know?
I agree.
That's my only stipulation. Like, why doesn't Jay remember? Because it could be an ordinary day for him. So that's why I'm not gonna throw.
It's an ordinary day and somebody lets you use their car and their cell phone. You telling me that? You telling me that if I let somebody use my car and my cell phone?
But then the same thing for Adnan. You don't have your phone or your car, and you don't remember none of that day. So see, and that's where it's so like iffy. Like, well, Jay should know, but Adnan should also, because it was a snowstorm. You know? Yeah. It was track practice. You know?
Right. I just don't know. Like,
we just don't know.
And that's where we're gonna wrap it up this time, I guess.
That's where we're gonna wrap it up.
So if you want to check out the Serial podcast,
we'll leave a link.
All iPhone users obviously have the podcast app, so all you have to do is type in Serial. On Android phones,
we found apps. Yes, so there's more than one app, whatever you want to use.
Yeah, Podcast Player is the one that we found. All you have to do is type in Serial like regular. So make sure that you check it out if you want to listen to it. If not, you can just keep on following up with us. I'm sure that we will make another video like this once we get towards the end.
So we're gonna keep kind of, you know, we'll see what you guys think. We'll update you guys, but we still got our regular content coming out.
And when the HBO series comes out, let us know if you want us to comment on that too. Comment down below if you want to see a video about that, or if you're going to be tuning in yourself to watch, or if you're going to be listening to the podcast with us. Yes. Just comment down below, let us know. Make sure that you follow us on all of our social medias. Juice also has an Instagram now. His ad name is Juice the Doggy. That'll be down in our description below as well. So make sure that you give him a follow as well. Make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on our turn on our post
notifications.
Stop. Turn on our post notifications so that you don't miss out on any videos that we post. We will be uploading 3 times a week now, so make sure that you keep that in mind, or else you will get the chance to win $100 from us. Yesterday we did upload a video. The issue was a copyright problem, so I deleted it.
Video over it.
It played like a song over the entire video.
But it's good now.
But it's good now. I re-uploaded it today, so that was our yesterday's upload. So if you don't believe me, don't believe me, but we did upload yesterday. I had to delete the video just due to copyright purposes, but I did re-upload that today. It was the failed drinking prank on my boyfriend.
Not what you think, but yeah.
Yeah, which explains itself.
Check it out.
But yeah, check it out. Make sure that you are loving us like we love you, and we'll see you next time.
That's it.
Yep, over and out from Always a Favela.